The making of a football can be traced back to a small town in Pakistan that supplies 80% of the world with footballs. As a kid, I always wondered how balls are made. And today we're going behind the scenes at one of the largest ball factories in the world to show you exactly that. For over 70 years, the people of Siakat have been hand-stitching footballs for export around the globe. The process has remained almost unchanged since the 1950s, when a British sports company set up a factory in the city. It was a game-changer for the local community, providing much-needed jobs and a steady source of income. These days, the entire process is still done by hand, only now it's on a much larger scale. With more than 250 football factories in the area and thousands of people working in them, the town is now known as the football capital of the world. There are three main components to a football. The outer layer is called the carcass, which gives the ball its shape and determines its size. The second layer is the winding, which provides support and stability to the ball. And finally, we have the cover, which gives the ball its color and texture. The first step is to create the carcass. This is done by taking long strips of leather and sewing them together end to end to form a tube. This tube is then cut to the desired length of the future ball. Once the strips are cut, they are soaked overnight in a solution of water and salt. This helps to make the leather more pliable and easier to work with. Once the strips have been softened, they are laid out flat and stitched together along the edges to form a cylinder. This cylinder is then turned into a sphere by stitching the top and bottom seams. The edges are melted just slightly to ensure the seams stay strong and durable, and the result is a hollow ball. The inside is left empty to start. To make a soccer ball, we need to inflate this ball with air or gas. But first, a lining needs to be installed. This will prevent the ball from deflating over time. The lining material is typically a thin sheet of rubber or plastic, and it's cut to the exact size of the ball's opening. Once the lining is cut, it's inserted into the ball and glued down around the edges. At this point, the ball is inflated, and any excess lining material that's sticking out is trimmed away. The final step in this stage is to install a valve stem that allows air to be added or removed from the ball as needed. With the carcass ready, it's time to add the winding. This is a layer of fabric that helps to hold the shape of the ball and give it stability. Typically, the winding is made from nylon or polyester thread, and it's wound around the ball in a crisscross pattern. Each individual strand of thread is knotted at both ends to keep it secure. The number of layers of winding used in a ball can vary depending on the quality of the ball being made. More layers mean a more stable and durable ball, but also a more expensive ball. Once the winding is complete, it's time to add the cover. The cover is what gives the ball its color and texture. It's also responsible for the ball's coefficient of restitution, which is a measure of how well the ball retains its shape after being kicked. To apply the cover, the ball is first soaked in a solution of water and soap. This helps to clean the ball and prepare it for the next step. The cover material is a thin sheet of leather or synthetic material. It's cut to the size of the ball and then stretched over the ball, pulling it taut. The edges of the cover are then glued to the carcass, securing the cover in place. Any excess cover material that's sticking out is trimmed away. Finally, the ball is polished to give it a smooth finish. This is done by rubbing the ball with a piece of cloth or leather. The polishing step is important because it removes any glue residue from the surface of the ball, which can make it more slippery and easier to handle. Each ball goes through multiple quality checks throughout the manufacturing process to ensure it meets the high standards set by the factory. Once a ball is finished, it's inspected for any defects such as loose threads, glue stains, or air leaks. Only perfectly round balls make it past this stage. Once a ball passes the initial quality check, it's marked with the FIFA logo and other relevant information. The balls are then packaged and shipped to their final destination. Some of these balls will end up being used in professional soccer matches, while others will be donated to less fortunate communities, so that kids who do have access to sports equipment can enjoy playing football too, depending on the quality of the materials used and the complexity of the design. A single ball can take anywhere from a few hours to several days to make. The simplest balls are made by machine and can be produced in mass in a matter of minutes. However, higher quality balls are handmade and require a team of skilled artisans to produce. No machines can replicate the precision and craftsmanship required to create these works of art. It's not just footballs that are made in this way. It's almost all types of balls, From basketballs to volleyballs to baseballs are made using similar techniques. Each type of ball has its own unique properties and challenges, but the basic principles of construction remain the same. For example, baseballs are often made from a cork center wrapped in yarn, then covered with leather. The seams on a baseball are where two pieces of leather meet, and it's critical that these seams are strong and durable as they need to withstand the impact of a fast-moving ball. That's why baseballs are often double or triple stitched to ensure they won't and come apart during play. Baseballs also need to be very round. Any imperfections in the shape of the ball will affect its flight path and could even cause it to curve in mid-air. This is why baseballs are typically hand-stitched by experienced artisans who know how to create a perfectly round ball.
Ow.
On the other hand, footballs need to be relatively lightweight and aerodynamic in order to fly through the air accurately and predictably. That's why footballs are often made from a combination of leather and rubber, which provides a lightweight yet durable construction. The seams on a football are designed to be less noticeable than those on a baseball, as this reduces the amount of air resistance the ball experiences as it flies through the air. In recent years, there's been a trend towards using synthetic materials such as polyurethane and silicone to make balls. These materials offer improved durability and performance over traditional leather balls. For example, a polyurethane ball is less likely to absorb water and expand in size, which can be a problem for leather balls, especially in wet conditions. Additionally, a silicone ball is highly resistant to tears and abrasions, making it ideal for use in high-impact sports such as American football. Regardless of the materials used, each type of ball must meet specific industry standards in terms of weight, size, and construction. For example, an American football must weigh between 14 and 15 ounces and be 11 to 11.25 inches in circumference. These standards ensure that each ball performs consistently and predictably, which is essential for fair play. But for me, there's no substitute for the real thing. A good old-fashioned leather ball just feels better to play with. Besides, if you buy a new leather ball, it will only improve with age. Just think about all the iconic moments in football history that were captured with a leather ball. The World Cup final in 1970, Peel's first goal for Santos, Maradonna's famous Hand of God goal in 1986. All of these moments were immortalized with a leather ball. So next time you have the opportunity, break out the leather ball and experience the game the way it was meant to be played. You won't regret it.